PlayStation dropped a new firmware update 5.01 that weighs in around the 350 MB megabytes, and as you know, I always report on these updates even though they're sometimes not that significant, because I know you're wondering what the heck does it do, just like me. And the patch notes that Sony provide do not really give a great insight on what the system update does. This time it says improves system performance, but over on Reddit it seems like this update is doing something else. With the most recent patch 5.0, Sony added a bunch of new features like the 1080p streaming on Twitch on the PS4 Pro and the parental control options and way more. I made a video on all the new features that you can check out by clicking on the screen if you want to. So what happened now is that a hacker found a way to homebrew the system while still being at 5.0, and 5.01 is combating that according to many Reddit users. And this is what we mostly see with these small updates. They are just to improve the security so that people that are misusing the PlayStation for illegal stuff will not be able to do that again. It's really an ongoing battle, and we will probably see a lot of these updates to combat the hacking. But the good part of it all is that, of course, on Reddit we got the funny system performance gifs just like this one. So nice, nothing else to worry about, but I still thought it was interesting enough to share, since I always want to keep you up to date on the PlayStation 4 system software updates, and I can imagine that you want to know what it does, so I want to tell you that. Also good to note is that on October 30th, so Monday next week, Sony is doing the Paris Games Week press conference, and they're hyping it up a lot, so I totally expect some interesting stuff. We will totally see Horizon Zero Dawn the Frozen Wilds gameplay, since we have not seen that before, and the expansion is coming up real soon. Detroit Become Human will totally be there. I hope a release date for that game. I hope to see some Spider-Man PS4 gameplay there, a God of War release date, and they're also teasing new game announcements, so I'm really curious to see what that will be. As I noted on Twitter, I will be covering that event a lot, so totally subscribe to stay up to date on all the news and analysis from the show as it happens. So expect a big news video right after the show with all the stuff that Sony announced during the Paris Games Week, including announcements like the Detroit Become Human release date, for example, new God of War stuff, Spider-Man stuff if they're going to show that. All that stuff will be in one big video right after the show. And for Horizon Zero Dawn, I expect to see a new machine in the gameplay, a new weapon Aloy will be using in the Frozen Wild, so I will give my in-depth analysis on that in a separate video. So it will be one crazy time, but I'm really looking forward to it. Check out my video with the predictions for that show by clicking on the screen. Like this video to support the channel. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.